it.
Yeah, but it's your boy Denver right here. Talking a little bit of movies right here. My boy Josh right here. I want to start the podcast, and we try to make it. So let's talk about some different stuff as well. So we're talking about Spider-Man, and Josh went us and saw Spider-Man this weekend.
Yes, sir. Yeah, bro. So, like I was saying, like I went this weekend, this Saturday. Me and Sasha, we went to go watch Spider-Man. We watched in the morning. We tried to catch an early movie time because we didn't want to be, crowded or with bare people. You know what I'm saying? So we went around that time. It was like the movie show time was like 11:30 or something like that. And I'm telling you. I was just glued to my seat. We were watching it in D-Box too. I'm glued to my seat and I'm just wrapped in, like, just totally just tapped in, you know what I'm saying? Like, the movie, honestly, it really takes you on a trip. A lot of multiverse type stuff. I really don't want to, expose too much, but
don't ruin it, dog.
yeah, there's gonna be a couple surprises, a couple things that you already anticipated to happen, but a couple surprises. You guys are gonna love it. Like, if you guys watch it, man, you guys are gonna love it. Whoever's watched it, man, you guys know what I mean. It's a great movie, and like I said, it's at Avengers status, or it's almost just a tad bit under Avengers status.
You're hyping it, bro.
Nah, when you watch it, you'll know what I mean, bro. I'm telling you, that movie is amazing. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it for sure. Like,
yeah,
man,
bro.
like, I was a little worried because, like, I know we like Shang-Chi. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but like, I was kind of waiting for that movie that's gonna be like, as good as the previous Avengers. And Spider-Man is that, bro? Give me your word on that. I gotta see that somehow. I gotta see that movie.
Like, if you're excited for the movie, you're like, you have every right to be. Like you won't be disappointed when you watch it, bro. Like, I'm telling you. And the movie will hit you in your feels a little bit too, bro. There's a couple moments where I almost shed a little tear. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't felt this way since Avengers. Straight up, though, when we watched Avengers, I low-key teared up a little bit. I had to, like, suck it back in. Like, I had to be like, don't cry now. Like, yo, like, your boys are right next to you. You know what I'm saying? like imagine if I was just cried right next to you, bro. But literally, bro, when I was watching Spider-Man, I swear I almost had that reaction, but I'm just like, whoa, chill, relax. So that's what I mean. Like, that's why I'm like, this is just under Avengers status, because no movies make me cry like that. These type of movies don't get me in my feels like that. So if you're getting me in my feels, you're the real deal.
And is it like more action, or like storytelling? Like, is it like a mix of both?
It's a good mix of both. You'll get the action that you're seeking, man. You get the action that you're seeking, and the storyline is really good too. Wow. Yeah, and honestly, this movie just really just opens up so many possibilities as to what's going to happen next. You know what I'm saying? So, man, you just gotta watch it, bro. You just gotta watch it.
Like, I know I read on the weekend, it said like it like smashed like box office records, which is crazy. I didn't see a lot of like lead up to it, a lot of like the commercials, a lot of like, that, like, I didn't really see a lot of the press run for it. But they said it smashed all the box office records. So I was like, wow, okay, I gotta see that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I guess, yeah. I mean, like, everyone, there was a lot of people that were tapped in, you know what I'm saying? They knew that the movie was coming out. They pre-bought their tickets, like, when me and Sasha were searching for seats, bro, like, again, it took us a minute to find a time in a movie theater where, there wasn't going to be much people, you know what I'm saying? So that's how it was definitely packed. It was definitely a good opening box weekend for them.
Savored. Yeah, I gotta watch it. What's it called again? Spider-Man?
It's Spider-Man No Way Home, bro.
No Way Home? I gotta watch that.
Sir. Everyone tap into that ASAP.
Oh, man. So that was a great segue. Like to kind of mix up a little bit. We're a big sports fan. We're also big, as you guys know, we're big Marvel fans. We watched every Avenger since we were like in high school. Like, we barely missed any. If we did, we would see it separately and like talk about it.
Exactly.
So, We're big movie fans as well as sports fans as well.
Yes, straight facts, straight facts.
Say word. So like in the comment, like, subscribe. Let me know if I should watch that movie.
I'm sure you're gonna get a bunch of yeses. A bunch of yeses.
Let's talk about a little bit of this recap. The NFL is actually, because of the postponements, there was 2 games that were postponed on the weekend because of COVID. So those games are actually going on right now. I believe it's the Raiders and the Bears. I could be wrong, but there's a couple games going on right now.
It's the Raiders and the Browns.
Raiders and the Browns, okay.
And then it's Vikings and the Bears is gonna be happening at 8:15 tonight.
Yeah, I think there's a game tomorrow as well. Is there a game on Tuesday? I believe there's a game on Tuesday. I could be wrong, but I think there's another game that's postponed till Tuesday.
Actually, sorry. It's just the Raiders and the Browns and the Vikings and the Bears that are playing tonight. So yeah, that's all I see on Monday. I don't see any games for Tuesday.
Oh, okay, so we're so there's actually a game going on.
Okay,
now.
I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I'm tripping.
There's a game Tuesday?
Tripping.
I swear there's a game Tuesday.
Rams and the Seahawks. Whoa, I'm tripping. Jeez.
It's okay. Like, so I know there's a lot of like confusion because a lot of games got canceled.
Yeah, so exactly.
So they're pushing it back. And I think it was actually he said it's the Rams versus the Seahawks. I believe one of those teams was complaining. I think it was the Rams were complaining that they had to play on Tuesday and had another short week notice, and I think they're playing again on Sunday. And so like they were complaining about it. So even the players in the Browns were complaining.
Yeah. It's definitely tough for them, man. But like this is what happens when you get some players just in the midst of a pandemic, it seems like this thing is quite not over. It's not quite over, right? So ultimately you're gonna have a couple players that are gonna be on this COVID watch list due to coming in contact with someone who had caught the virus. And if you get enough people who have been in contact with you, it causes a whole bunch of players to be able to miss that game, and these games are gonna get postponed, man. It's just the world that we're living in, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, who would have thought 2 years in, we're still talking about,
Yeah, we're still dealing with it.
The COVID. So like, I thought it was like, everyone thought like a 1-2 year thing, but looks like this might last for a few more years, to be honest.
Definitely, with the variants and everything, like it just keeps evolving, man. And it sucks. But yeah, crazy. Man, this is another element of the game that like you're gonna have to kind of take into account. Like this can really like be severe, like it can really impact the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, for a team. So
yeah, I guess like that's why some teams, like I know Seattle Seahawks, one of their mantras was 12th man, but I think it was that was also for their fans because acting like a 12th man, but also exactly. As it's a mantra saying that always be ready. Like the backups, like you see it this year where we've had many players at the comment and fill in spots where previous years you wouldn't see as much change over in the roster, as much second and third year players getting opportunities. Second or third string players get opportunities to play in games and whatnot. And so, yeah, definitely like you said, like the team that has the most depth or the team that stays the healthiest is the one that's gonna go far. Because you see, like this can even happen in the playoffs where 20 guys get in the COVID protocol. And so it's up to like you have to have guys that are ready and guys step up. So that's why you have to have good depth. You can't just be a team that just has good starters. You need good backups as well.
Very true. That's a good point, man. Good point.
Yeah, some good games.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about yesterday's games that occurred, or do you want to go back even a week where you won that week for predictions?
Wait, did we predict the week? We predicted the week before.
We predict the week before, so we predicted week 14, I believe.
Oh yeah, we can go talk quick about those games.
Do you remember the games that we picked? I think we picked Ravens Browns. I know that for sure, and I lost because you picked the Browns there. It was 24-22.
I told you about that.
Man, these games were close because I believe it was Taylor Huntley that was starting, and I was under the assumption before, and that's the reason why I picked the Ravens, because I was thinking that Lamar was going to be starting. but the thing is, Huntley is not all that bad. He's
Bro, he's
actually a
actually
really good
bro,
backup. Like
he's pretty good, bro. I'm like, whoa,
that
this
man
dude's,
is.
yo, I'm like, all right.
I'm telling you, you cannot count the Ravens out even with him in at quarterback. Like the only thing is though that gets under my skin and what had happened this past game against when they played Green Bay
Green Bay,
is
yeah,
that Harbaugh loves going for it for like
to win
right,
the game.
yeah, to win the game. And I'm just like, I'm literally thinking like, okay, like maybe you can do that with Lamar and it'd be more of a favorable chance for you to win. But with Huntley, be conservative. You know what I'm saying? Kick the field goal. Let's go to overtime. I understand you got Aaron Rodgers on the bench. You know, you don't want to risk them getting the ball and basically driving it down the field in OT to score to win the game. But it gives you guys at least a fighting chance. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys going for it for two, like like it can only go like you could go one or two ways. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's more possibilities. There's definitely more of a chance if you're just letting the game go to OT. So Harbaugh is just a little too. I feel like he's a little too aggressive there, and that's what basically happened in that game against Green Bay. And I think is something similar happened against Cleveland. If my memory serves me correctly, I can't really remember, but it was a close game. It was 22-24. So I don't know if it came down to the last second and Taylor Huntley just wasn't able to convert on a game, to basically tie up the game or like win the game. I think that's what happened, but
yeah, it came honestly, down to yeah, it came down to the last drive, and yeah, he didn't convert it to win the game. And so they just didn't convert the fourth down. So they got.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
He threw a last pass. I think it was short of first down and lost the game.
Oh yes, to Bateman. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, okay, so, I remember now. Yeah.
So right. That's a pretty good game. But like you said, Huntley's playing pretty good. Like you said, this game this past week versus Packers. Interesting strategies. Like my thing is does he not believe in his defense? Because obviously you have Aaron Rodgers on the other end. So he felt like if they would have lost a coin toss, their defense wouldn't be able to stop him. But at the same time, what if they had won the coin toss? Like
exactly, that's what I'm thinking. And Huntley has the hot hand right now. Exactly. So yeah, honestly, definitely he should have played it. I think it's just the game is just really just converted to analytics nowadays, and it's like it made sense to, according to analytics, to go for two in that situation. But I feel like just with the quarterback that you have, be conservative. Like I know Huntley's playing nice and all, but just cool it a little bit. If you had Lamar, like you have every right to go for two for sure to win the game.
Yeah, because I know there's many points in games last year where it's third down, they didn't complete it first down, and Lamar looks at Harbaugh and he's like, "Yo, let's go for it." Like I know they have a type of, they said they have a type of chemistry, but I don't know if Huntley and Harbaugh have that type of chemistry or connection or trust. I would say, where you're putting all your trust into Huntley to get the 2-point conversion. But other than that, like you said, Huntley played pretty well, so I think he's definitely auditioning
for any other teams.
Bro, he could be a very capable starter. I don't want to hype him up, but definitely next year, if he's not a free agent this year, he definitely has a chance to be a backup on any team, or even as a fill-in starter. He actually, everyone was saying that he's like Lamar Jackson, but he's not that good. But he's not bad, bro. I don't want to hype him up too much, but
not bad at all.
Balling out against some good teams too.
Like he doesn't have any fear, like that's straight up. Like definitely reminds me a lot of Lamar Jackson. Has a lot of a lot of Lamar Jackson capabilities, in terms of escapability. But I feel like he has maybe even a better arm, maybe better accuracy at times too. He seems decent enough to maybe start on another team, and he was undrafted, I believe, out of Utah. So I mean, definitely this was a great Ravens find, and he's kind of helping them. I know they lost the last 2 games, but it was not that much of a fall off, from Lamar to Huntley. So again, kudos to the Ravens front office in finding this guy and finding this talent. And if it doesn't work out with the Ravens, he's definitely going to find a spot. He's definitely going to find a home somewhere else, and they're going to value him.
Yeah, definitely. So that means it definitely cools a lot of fears for people had high thoughts of the Ravens going forward, but it looks like they're in capable hands, with Tyler Huntley. So definitely think they're going to be a threat, for the rest of the games in the season. But they have to win some to start the playoffs. So that's my only concern, is that they got to get into the playoffs, bro. So
yeah, that's the thing.
So does Lamar come back too early? Should he rest more? Because Huntley's playing well. That's very interesting to me, how this end of the season is going to play out for them.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see. I mean, damn, it's like we're in week 15,
bro. Already
week 16. Like there's literally only a couple games left, bro. Like three
That's
games,
insane.
3 weeks left. The season seems to be flying by now. The NFL playoff race is on.
For real. And there's not really teams that are separating themselves, man. A lot of teams are in the middle of the hunt.
Exactly.
All right, so that was 1 W for me. I believe the next game was Chiefs Raiders. I chose the Chiefs.
You picked the Chiefs.
Bro, that was a blowout.
That was a slap. It was just the most disappointing performance from the Raiders that I've seen in a long time. I'm just like, wow. You know what, Raiders? I'm totally off you guys. I ain't never choosing you again. It is just straight embarrassing. I believe from the first drive that they had, because it wasn't a kickoff return. Because I believe we started the podcast while this game was going on, and we realized, it was 7-0 Chiefs, and you're like, it might have been like a kickoff return. Nah, literally they hand off the ball to Josh Jacobs. He fumbles it. Mike Hughes basically picks it up, runs it back for 6. They get on the board early. Then that was just telling of how the game was going to be from there. The game just went the Chiefs' way 100%, and there was nothing. The Raiders didn't contribute, they didn't do anything. Patrick Mahomes had another kind of pedestrian game, I'd say. I mean, okay, his efficiency was decent. Yeah, I watched the game Thursday. Yeah, his efficiency was there. He was 20 for 24, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's all right, but I feel like the team just had a good balance, and they and their defense, man. Kudos to the Chiefs defense. I honestly have no idea what got into them, bro. What has motivated them so much, because they were known to be trash. You know what I'm saying? And they just turned it all around. People like Sorensen are showing up. You know what I'm saying? Mike Hughes is shutting down guys. They're getting the rush. They're getting the pressure to QBs. They're really just playing lights out. And that's what's giving Patrick Mahomes a chance, to be honest. If this is solely on Patrick Mahomes' shoulder, man, I doubt that he would be winning games like this. But yeah, man, you see the result of the defense just really showing up and really improving this year, and they can definitely be a dangerous team in the playoffs just due to that.
Yeah, but the defense plays the same way the last few years, where they've struggled early in the season and they kind of picked up towards the end of the season. So that's what I expected with them. Like I said, that would give them time for Mahomes to get back into Mahomes. As you can see, that game, he played subpar, but this past week on Thursday against the Chargers, he played pretty well. So yeah, I feel like he's getting back into that flow. I know this is a problem. Everybody wants to throw for 300 yards and 4 TDs.
That's what I'm used to,
But bro, teams game plan too. Teams have tape. You know what I mean?
True.
They kind of know. They kind of they follow your weaknesses. What are some stuff that they can exploit? And so I think it's hard and hard and hard to put up those type of stats game in and game out. But I feel like that was the Chiefs are rounding into form, and to be honest, they're gonna win a lot of games down the stretch. They're definitely a threat, in the playoffs, 100%. I'm telling you, bro, the Chiefs are dangerous, bro. The Chiefs are dangerous.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I can't discount them anymore. But I literally thought, Chargers are gonna take that game, bro. But the moment that it went to OT, and Chiefs were already riding on a high going into OT, because I mean, You saw how Patrick Mahomes was feeling. This man was in a little, like you could tell it in his face, like he was in a different mode. You know what I'm saying? Like just seeing his expression, and then he was even like, he's like, I'm back a little bit. He even did that a little bit. You know, said those words. I'm just like, all right, you know,
he's back, bro. He's back.
I guess maybe you've gotten back to where you used to be.
Maybe something like that, bro.
Yeah, maybe you ain't as shit as I thought.
Bro, he's nice, bro. Stop hating.
But you know who's also nice? Travis Kelce. Because where would you be without him?
That was a big play to win the game. Yeah.
Dog, that dude is definitely tight. Like, he's the best tight end in the NFL, man. I know people try to make the argument for like Mark Andrews or George Kittle.
Yeah.
You know, nah, it's Travis Kelce, man. He proves it. And he like he has this low-key speed, bro. Like this low-key speed that you like, it's so deceptive. Like I literally be watching him like, yo, this guy's not even moving that fast, but he can actually get away from defenders. You know what I'm saying? Like that last play to win the game. Literally, the man made a couple moves, ran into the end. Like it was a nice catch and run. And you know, it's not something that you would expect from a tight end. You know what I'm saying? He just has that element to his game, and it makes him, I feel like, head and shoulders over the rest of the tight ends in the league, man. He's the real deal.
Yeah, he's definitely dynamic. I think one of the things about him is that he's able to kind of move and have the same agility as some receivers. So the shiftiness, you don't see that in tight ends, you know, especially white tight ends. You don't see that shiftiness in them. You know what I mean? And so I would say, yeah, to be honest, because of consistency, I say he is probably the best tight end right now. I would put other guys like, you know, Darren Waller and the Raiders in there. He's pretty good.
Darren Waller is up there, but
because he's kind of like a receiver, like a bigger receiver, but he's not as like shit. He's more like fast. So he's pretty fast. I think he's faster than Kelce, but I don't think he's as shifty as Travis Kelce. But he's pretty good. I think he's definitely like in the running with Kelce, but in terms of consistency, the last like 4 or 5 years, definitely Travis Kelce has been like, you know, one of the top tight ends. But yeah. But I feel like with all those pieces, Tyreek Hill, all the pieces that have in place, the running game, you know, with Edwards.
Edwards-Helaire. Yeah, and they're also using Gore too, who's
yeah,
supposed to be a decent number 2 back as well. So
yeah, but she's gonna be hard to beat, bro.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I literally try to count them out. I was really hoping that they'd be out, but they trying to prove haters wrong, man. And I was definitely a hater.
That's 2-0.
Yes, sir.
Next game, I believe you won 2. I think I won 3 or 4.
You won 3, and you won I won 2, I believe, or I maybe won just 1. I don't even remember. Let me see here. I think we picked.
I think it was 49ers Bengals, and I think I chose the 49ers. You chose the Bengals.
Yeah, so that's another game that you won. So I chose the Bengals because I was thinking Joe Burrow is gonna show up, you know, play a great game. You know, 49ers had it like on and popping from early. And it took Joe Burrow to kind of fight to get them back in the game. You know, to get it at least within to get the game to OT. But man, 49ers really they were just feeling it, bro. They were just on another level. Like Jimmy G was playing proper. George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, all these guys just contributed. And they happened to, you know, basically win it in OT. Yeah, man, it's a good pick on your side, man. I don't know, like usually you're against the 49ers. I thought, you know, maybe you would have picked the Bengals with me and we couldn't use this game, but you went 49ers. You're confident in your pick.
And because I knew the 49ers are kind of those teams, one of those middle of the pack teams, but like I said many times in the podcast, they're very underrated. And I think Jimmy G is very underrated as well. Everyone hates on him.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Like he may not be like a top 5 QB, but he's definitely a capable starter. Definitely a guy that can win games. And he always had a good rapport with Shanahan, with Kyle Shanahan. So, yeah, so I definitely picked them to win that game. And they also won this week as well against the Falcons. The last 2 games, he's been kind of like hasn't thrown any interceptions. He played pretty well. So that's a definitely team like
Mistake-free football,
that has a chance to, surprise some teams in the end of the season. That in that game, Jimmy G, 27 for 41, 296, 2 TDs, no interceptions. Like you said, like kind of like a flawless game. They won an OT that game. And so, like, that's the thing. Like the 49ers, they always had a kind of decent defense with the players that they have, but now they had a young defense, but now, they're kind of picking things up. And I think they're gonna make the playoffs, bro. Like they're gonna at 7-6.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see them squeezing themselves in the playoffs for sure, and maybe even making a little run because they're so like you can't count them out at all. I mean, this is a team that got to the Super Bowl, just a year ago.
Yeah.
Right?
2 years ago, 2019.
2 years, 2019 when the Chiefs won.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, can't count them out. They still have a lot of the same pieces. They're basically, a similar team to that team. And they were good. They're doing good. So I'm sure that the way that they're riding out the end of the season on a high, they can bring that momentum within the playoffs. And that's why they can be very definitely much a sleeper. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, and like George Kittle's been playing well. So, speaking of tight ends, he's played well the last 3 games. Like I believe his last 3 games, like Seattle, he had like 9 catches at 181. Cincinnati, the game we're talking about, 13 catches at 151. And then this past week, he has 6 catches for 93. So he's probably Jimmy G's main target going forward. Like, every QB like a security blanket. Either it's a slot or it's a tight end. That's the way it goes in football. You want a guy that you can depend on. To the short routes, just guys that don't drop the ball. And George Kittle has definitely been Mr. Dependable for them.
Yeah, definitely. Man, so that's the L on my part. Shoot. Man, this whole week is just like I'm like, wow. All right, so football guys, we're not gonna be on my side for another week. And like it was too good to be true to be coming off a W and get another W. You know what I'm saying? Because I got the W the week before. Here's a game that I actually did win though, Buccaneers and Bills.
Oh yeah. That was a good game, close game.
Yeah, it was a nice little game.
OT.
Another OT game. There was quite a bit now thinking about it in this week. Yeah, I mean, I believe Tampa Bay had it like they were doing well in the beginning of the game. Really slapping up Buffalo at one point, but then Josh Allen can't count him out. That offense is very scary with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Josh Allen was really rushing the ball too. That guy is really a threat on his legs, a different type of runner than Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson. He's more of I'm a run right through you. Like, he runs like a power back. He had 12 carries for 109 yards himself, right? Like that's a great game right there and a touchdown. Also passed for 308 yards. I mean, I feel like that's an excellent game as the quarterback. So basically got the game to overtime, and it took Tom Brady really, that last drive where I feel like it was a coverage maybe. Like a coverage bust on the Bill side where Brashad Perriman was running a little it was I think it was a slant pattern or a drag or something like that.
He's wide,
running across the field and the linebacker had to pick it up, and I believe it was man, but the linebacker picked him up. And he just ran right past him, ran for a touchdown. It was an exciting way to end the game, but it shouldn't have gone to OT, man. If the like Tampa Bay definitely shouldn't have let the game get to that point.
They're definitely going blow for blow. Scare. Yeah, I feel like the Bills are, they're a dangerous team. Like even that game was pretty tight. I know they're not in the same division, but that game showed me that the Buffalo Bills are gonna fight. They're not gonna just bend over to teams like Tampa Bay. And so it was a great fight back, great being resilient. You saw it was a great last play to Brashad Perriman to win the game. Vintage Tom Brady. You know, I always go against Tom Brady because I feel like he's gonna have one of these games. I picked it to be this game, but it was actually this past game yesterday.
Yo,
But I feel like
embarrassing.
there's always games with Brady. I don't care how good he is. I'm not one of those guys who saying he's gonna fall off the cliff, but I'm definitely one of those guys that think that like, bro, some games he's gonna show that he's 44, bro. Like, bro, like he can't play like that at that age. Like, obviously, like yesterday's game, he had like 4 injuries. I think like Mike Evans got hurt. Chris Godwin towards ACL, I believe they announced today, so he's out for the season, which is a big blow. And then Leonard Fournette got hurt, so they had a lot of injuries in the game. That's why in my head I was like, during the game I was like, there's no way they're cutting Antonio Brown. Like even before the game they announced they're gonna bring him back, but I was like, no, bro. Even if they cut him, they would have brought him back because
They need him.
They need him. Like they need the weapons. So it kind of shows you like, you know, Brady's really good, but he still needs weapons like any other QB. He needs a Mike Evans, he needs a Chris Godwin, he needs a Leonard Fournette. You know what I mean? He needs weapons around him for him to be successful. As you saw yesterday, a lot of his players were dropping passes, and some passes he was just throwing off. They're just like thrown to the ground, and like there's a lot of like, you know, missteps. And so yeah, so no, that was a good win by you Buccaneers. I got that game wrong, but I kind of predicted they're gonna have an off game. It wasn't that game, but it was definitely.
It was just the week. It
next
was
week.
just another week. Yeah, honestly, bro, like that game was it was just embarrassing. I felt secondhand embarrassment. You know what I'm saying, for Tom Brady, and I don't even like Tom Brady like that much. I can give him that respect. You know, call him the GOAT. I like, you know me on this channel. I've boldly claimed that he's the GOAT, but it's not like I'm the biggest Tom Brady fan or anything like that. But I felt secondhand embarrassment. Just he couldn't figure it out. And I understand, you know, he had key guys go down, but this is Tom Brady. Like, you know, I feel like he's worked with less in New England, you know what I'm saying? But definitely, like you said, I feel like age is caught up with him. And there's something about the Saints defense that he can't figure it out. Because he lost against the Saints earlier this season, you know, when Trevor Siemian was starting. You know, there's something about that Saints defense that is like his kryptonite. Like, they play extra hard when it comes to when they know that they're facing Tom Brady. They're like, all right, let's get it on and pop in. Let's get after him. You know, let's confuse him a little bit. Like, I mean, Tom Brady threw a couple interceptions in this game too, right?
He had a big fumble. They're like in the goal line. He fumbled it.
So, man, he just seemed to be, you know, a turnover machine within that game. And again, it's just, you know, whoever's the defensive coordinator of the Saints, man. I mean, like you got Tom Brady on lock. Like, you probably prepare for his games more than anything, you know. More than any other game. Like, games against Tom Brady are circled because you guys really turn it on against him. I don't know what it is. But yeah, shout out to the Saints D, because I mean, a very low score. It was 9-0. Their offense can do, like, Taysom Hill can do anything.
Yeah, like to be honest, like the Saints, they give me. I worry for them, even if they make the playoffs, like, because like you said, like Taysom Hill, he still hasn't really developed as a passer. Like they run a lot of the direct run plays and stuff like that. But like in terms of like sitting in the pocket and making plays in the pocket, I know that's not his game, but he has to be able to kind of like pick his spots where he can sit in the pocket and just make throws. And I don't think he's able to do that at this point. He hasn't developed that type of QB. But like they're basically like telling the Buccaneers like, you come win this game, and they wouldn't do that like the way that the offense of the Saints is playing. But yeah, like Tom Brady, I believe it's the first time he got shut out in like 15 years or something. So that was crazy. Wow. Even last year, yeah, remember they lost to the Saints twice when Drew Brees was there, and then they beat them in the playoffs. But same this year. Like the Saints just have the number. Saints beat them twice already this year. And yeah, it's just like a thing, like you said, like they have a great game plan. I didn't believe the DC name was Dennis Allen. I think he was in because Sean Payton was out for the game. I think he was the head coach this game. But I feel like he has a great game plan every single time he faces Tom Brady.
Definitely. And I'm telling you, that game was also boring too. The amount of three and
Yeah.
outs, it was just not just on both sides, man. It was terrible.
Yeah, definitely like another
But
offensive game. If you're a defensive guy like us, maybe you appreciate someone like, the high level defense play, but
I definitely appreciate the Saints defense and the effort that they put. But like,
yeah, people want to see some
wow.
touchdowns.
I want to see at least one. There was no touchdown on either side.
Three,
The
yeah,
9 points was composed of field goals.
yeah. Oh man, yeah. So that was a game that you won, Bills and Buccaneers. I believe the last game was a Monday night game. I think I won that game, so I actually went 4-1. I think we chose Rams Cardinals.
Yeah, Rams and Cardinals
I chose
as
Rams.
well.
You chose Cardinals.
Yeah, sorry, not Rams. Cardinals are falling off, bro. I don't know what happened. Like this game against the Rams, they fell off, couldn't get it really going, and then they bombed even more
Against
this
the
week
Lions,
against the
bro.
Lions. I'm just like, how you losing to them? What happened? I was speaking so highly of you on the podcast too. Now you gonna make me seem like an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just like, damn, like I don't know what's going on in their camp over there, but given the Lions that win, man, you can't be giving freebies out like that, man. This is serious for playoff implications, man. Come on now.
Yeah, like they're 10-3 now, so they'll still make the playoffs. But like you said, 10-4 actually. So they lost the last 2-3 games, but you said they need that momentum because they're a young team. They were the best team in the NFC. I mean the best record. They're showing they're definitely how young they are in terms of experience down the stretch of the season. So yeah, like still gonna make the playoffs, but I mean Kyler Murray, he played okay, he played pretty decent. I think it was more their defense, allowing
Yeah, it was
allowing
their defense in the
Jared
Rams
Goff.
game.
Yeah. And Jared Goff finally showed one game where he can play.
Yeah, he's pretty consistent in that game. I think he threw 3 touchdowns in that game. It was like
Yeah.
a little reminiscent of his days within LA. Josh Reynolds came up for him too. Amon-Ra St. Brown as well. Yeah, they got it going. Their defense, I mean, Detroit's defense showed up. Like they showed up.
Yeah, bro, they be fighting all week, to be honest. Like that's what I was saying. Like the difference between him and like Urban Meyer that recently just got, I don't know, you seen
Fired,
that
yeah.
he got fired, bro, because like they're saying that he kicked the kicker and that was the last straw.
Yeah, I heard about that too. It's like, damn, this guy. You know what? He's too used to college. That's what Urban Meyer is.
Bro, exactly.
That's what it is, yo. You can't be treating these grown men like kids, bro. That's the thing. That's not what's gonna fly in the NFL. You gotta change the way you approach. You gotta change your approach in order to adapt within the NFL.
Because definitely like in college, like he's like the guy. Like in college, like if you get in the bad side of the coach, like you kind of done for it, bro. Because
exactly,
a lot of guys who are in college, they want to get to the next level, whether it's NFL or CFL or any type of like professional league. So he's kind of like, what the coach says goes. You know what I mean? But in the NFL, you're grown men that you can't treat players the same way you did in college. Because they're gonna react like, yo, bro, I'm a grown man and you're a grown man. You can't talk to me like that. So it has to be a way different type of coaching. And so yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like he's a good coach, but like he's probably better and way better in college than he would be in the NFL for his style of coaching.
Definitely. It seemed that he kind of maybe like even before the kicking the kicker situation, it's just funny kicking the kicker. But anyway, even before that situation, it seemed like he lost the locker room. And when you lose the locker room, man, you just see like it's I feel like it was just signs of things to come. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it would have been inevitable that he would have lost his job. It's crazy. And it's funny though, he signed like a contract for, I don't know if it was like 6 years or something like that, but it's like within the first year of him being hired, he loses his job. It's just, that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, and they're saying that usually like when a team, you've seen it before where teams let go of coaches in the first year and they have to pay them out. And I was like, wow, they have that much money where they can just pay out a coach for the rest of his contract. But I think with Urban Meyer, they said they're not going to pay him because of all the stuff he did. They justified in firing him without paying him the rest of the contract. So that's gonna be interesting to see. Like, wow, like they're actually like, nah, bro, I'm not gonna pay you.
Yeah, we're like, yo, we don't really mess with you. You don't deserve money. Straight up.
Oh man. Yeah, but even that, like, I feel like Trevor Lawrence just like, bro, like, it's kind of the storyline being kind of lost in the whole like season. But like all the rookie QBs that are playing, Trevor Lawrence has not played really well this year. Maybe he
Nah,
had
he's
one
the
or
least
two
developed.
games, but bro, like he hasn't really developed really well this year under Urban Meyer and coaching staff. So maybe with that new coaching staff next year, he can kind of show why he was number 1 overall pick, get him a few more weapons, and he can develop more. But like, yeah, hopefully he's not a bust. You've seen a lot of like number 1 picks are busts.
Yeah,
I just think that maybe just didn't have the right coaching staff as well as players around him. But bro, like he hasn't developed at all this season to the point where everyone thought he would be.
exactly. Yeah, and again, that's due to the coaching, right? And I feel like that's what happens a lot with these number 1 overall picks, because they're going to bad teams. Why are they bad teams? Because of bad coaching or stupid front office decisions. You know what I'm saying? So that's what ruins a lot of these players. And yeah, I'm just hoping that Trevor Lawrence is not a product of that. But that case is very well still open, just due to the fact that I mean, he's not really much developed. Really, have you heard much about Trevor Lawrence? Like, since we've been hearing a lot about the Jacksonville Jaguars, due to their head coach situation, but Trevor Lawrence, you haven't heard much. You know what I'm saying? You haven't heard him, displaying any, shot, just any signs of things to come. He hasn't showed much in his performance at all. So it's just he's really been lost, as you said, and hopefully, once Jacksonville looks to hire someone, hopefully it's someone who can develop Trevor Lawrence a little bit, because he needs it, man. It's like we don't want things to go on, unfortunately, but we'll see.
Yeah, because like I remember even last week they said there's issues like James Robinson, one of their best running backs, he fumbled the ball and like Urban Meyer benched him for like the entire game, and Trevor Lawrence he told the coaches and as well he said in the media where he's like, nah, if we want to win games, we need a guy out there. Like we need him out here in the field. Like forget about punishing this guy. Like we don't have that many good players to even begin with. Like
exactly,
make sure I have all the weapons I have on the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like those are moves that you make, like not even in college, bro. You make that in like high school or something like that. Like, come on now. Like he's like James Robinson is their premier back right now. Like, and he's been doing well for them. Especially with the absence of Travis Etienne, you need that guy. So why would you bench him, bro? He makes a mistake, give him back that confidence by leaving him on the field so he can make a play to make up for everything. Yeah, stupid decisions by Urban Meyer, man. So get your ass back to college, bro. Or
bro, I think
I don't even know if a college team is good at hiring.
I don't know. I think you have to end up in like the XFL or some other league, because I don't know if any team they're gonna like take him college or NFL, bro.
Yeah, his career's a little bit tarnished now.
Yeah, but kind of just let's drop back on the Rams versus Cardinals, and and so I think the Rams, like you said, they're 9-4. It's a great win for them. I think it was kind of one of the must-win games for them, especially in the same division. Stafford's looking good. He threw 3 TDs that game. Cooper Kupp did his thing. 123 yards, a TD. So definitely the Rams are looking poised in the playoffs. One of those teams that, they could go pretty far depending on how they play. Like they have all the weapons on defense. Aaron Donald, as well as Jalen Ramsey in the secondary. They have great weapons on offense and defense. If they're all clicking, they're going to be a hard team to beat. So definitely going to be a tough out in the playoffs. And that was a great win by the Rams. So that makes me 4-1 last or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, unfortunately. again, this just wasn't my week, man. And as you were saying about this, the Rams in the Arizona game, yeah, I mean, if Matt Stafford is playing like how he played against the Rams, sorry, against the Cardinals, they're gonna be a scary playoff team. Like I feel like the team is only going to go as far as Matthew Stafford will take them. And like they already have a great defense, that's for sure. But if Matthew Stafford, we've seen it in the past, for the couple games that they've lost, the 4 games that they lost. If Matthew Stafford doesn't get it going, the defense is not going to be able to hold it up for them. No matter how good they are, no matter the pieces that they have, they're not going to hold it up for them. Matthew Stafford needs to play a game like this, 23 for 30, right? 287 yards, nearly 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. He needs that type of game. And I mean, not all the time you're going to get to force feed it to Cooper Kupp and give him 13 receptions. That's not going to be a constant thing. But, you see kind of what works, right? He was spreading the ball around still because he gave Odell quite a couple passes. He gave Van Jefferson quite a couple passes as well. Basically, that's what he needs to, keep that going in order for them to get far within the playoffs and be that dangerous team that you anticipate them to be. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like quietly, Odell's playing really well in the last 3 games. He's got 3 TDs. So it's kind of under the radar, getting more chemistry with Matthew Stafford. So if he can keep playing well, keep getting in the end zone for them, it's gonna be definitely like can back to his form in terms of being like a top threat.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely think like everyone was kind of like, oh, it's not a good fit for the Rams. They have so much other weapons. He doesn't fit the system. Feel like he's starting to get in the flow, and it just takes time. Like you have Odell on one side, but you also have your whole system. The Sean McVay system where he likes to go to Cooper Kupp and Higbee the tight end, and run the ball. So I feel like just give Odell some time. And I feel like the last 3 games he showed that, like kind of showing his potential again.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's because he's in a system where he knows he's gonna at least get the ball. Like Cleveland, it was a toss up. Like he never knew he was gonna get the ball. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
he's due to that fact, I feel like he's gonna get his targets. He's in higher spirits. He's definitely in a market that he wants to be, being in LA too. I feel like everything is kind of going his way, so he's just gonna be able to focus on football.
Yeah. So that was a great, great week for me.
That was a good week by you, bro. It's a good week. Shout out to you.
I won most of the weeks. If you're not following, I think I lost only 1 week. It was a week 3 weeks ago. But
bruh.
Yeah, bruh. Upset City.
Oh my god. All right. Well, you know what? We're gonna make some picks for week 16 because most of week 15's already happened. Let's make a prediction on tonight's game though, with the Vikings and the Bears. Unless we're gonna pick the same team, let's not. Let's just skip over to week 16 to make our picks.
Bruh, everyone's picking the Vikings to win. How's Chicago playing? Is Justin Fields starting now? Because remember, we actually predicted this.
Justin Fields did.
We predicted this. We said, Andy Dalton, since they're out of the playoffs, they might as well just start Justin Fields the rest of the season.
Yeah,
and that's what they're doing. Yeah, because last week he played, right?
Yeah, he did. But I feel like Vikings is a must-win game for them. I mean, I don't know where their playoff hopes will, like I don't know how. I don't really know if they'll make it. Like they're 6 and 7, so they're below 500 right now currently. Maybe they can squeeze themselves into the playoffs if they win this game and continue winning the rest of the remaining games in the season. So I would go with Minnesota here personally, just due to the fact that Kirk Cousins can be threatening. He can get it going with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. Is Dalvin Cook playing? I don't know. Is he healthy? If they have Dalvin Cook healthy, then that's also another threat on the ground as well. And just due to Justin Fields' youth too, I mean, he's just getting his feet wet. I understand they're putting him in to kind of just get more experience. They'll probably be moving forward with him as a full-time starter next season. But as of right now, with these games where he's just getting his feet wet, nah, I don't see him really doing much.
The
Maybe
game, the
he
game
might
is at
spark some
Chicago.
things. Sorry?
The game
But
is
the game's
at
at
Chicago.
Chicago. What's that Soldier Field? Well,
Bruh.
I mean, still, still, Minnesota needs to win this game. Like again, they could possibly still get to the playoffs. It's not a fact. This is not a factor for Chicago, and Minnesota has more of a motivating. They have more of a driving force to win this game. So I can see them winning. But I guess you're gonna go upset City, because
Bruh, I'm looking at it, and they've lost their last 2 road games to San Fran. They even lost a road game to the Detroit Lions. So, I'm gonna have to say on the road they're not the best team. I think they're more of a home team. They have a great home crowd.
They do.
I'm gonna go. It's cold right now in Chicago. It's also cold in Minnesota, but I think Justin Fields plays well this game. I think they find a way to win. I'm gonna lean to Justin Fields showing some of those flashes in this game, and I believe, to me, the Vikings are an inconsistent team. So for me to pick them to win out and make the playoffs, like I said, it is must win. But for me to pick them to win out the rest of the season, it has to be Chicago twice, which is definitely possible. They also have, believe in the Packers and the Rams. So that's our last 4 games: Chicago, LA, Green Bay, Chicago.
Jesus, those are gonna be hard games to win.
Bro, that's pressure. That's pressure.
Yeah.
So I believe if they don't win this game, they have a tough time making the playoffs. So I'll say, pressure breaks pipes.
Or pressure makes diamonds.
Hey,
either
way. Hey, I'm going Chicago here. Chicago.
This thing could go either way, bro.
Oh man, Chicago holla. I'm going Chicago right here.
All right. So okay.
Can you see me?
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. I guess that game can go toward 16.
Yeah, there's 2 more games.
How long we been going for, bro? We've been going for a little bit, huh?
Yeah. We can also pick what's the other 2 games tonight? There's the Seahawks, Rams, Washington against Eagles.
Oh shoot, yeah. I guess we can pick that. Oh shoot, yeah. We can't pick those games on Tuesday. Okay, Rams and Seahawks. Who do you think is gonna win that one?
Bruh, the Seahawks have been playing well, bro. You been watching the Seahawks, bro? The last few games they've been playing. They won the last 2 games, even though they're out of the playoffs. They're still playing like they're in the playoffs, bruh. Yeah, they won. They beat San Francisco, which is a playoff team. And they beat Houston, which is not a playoff team, but Russ has been playing pretty good. Their offense has been playing pretty good. I'm gonna go upset here. I'm gonna go Seattle. Russell Wilson. My boy Russ comes out and he wins the game. Upset City. I'm going Seahawks right here, bro.
This man is straight upset City, like nothing else. Just well, okay. Let me tell you. Okay, so LA needs to win these last couple games leading into the playoffs. If they don't, they're not the team that we thought they were. They're not going to be an impactful team going into the playoffs. Matthew Stafford needs to go out on a high note in these last remaining games. I feel like Matthew Stafford is going to be maybe riding on a high as well, riding on some momentum, getting things going with Cooper Kupp, Odell, Van Jefferson. As long as he plays some mistake-free football, I feel like they ultimately win. And I don't feel like Seattle's defense would be able to handle that. And then LA's defense, man, you already know they're the pieces that they have. They're also going to be riding on home crowd, home field advantage, right? Being in SoFi Stadium. So, man, it has to be LA taking this, bro. Like, if they don't take this, then there's something wrong with the football gods, and LA don't want to, like, LA also doesn't want to make the playoffs, or like, they don't want to, like, because if they lose this game, they're going to be 9-5. Like,
I still think they make the playoffs. If they lose again, I still think they make the playoffs. They
make the playoffs. They make the playoffs, but they're going to be a lower seed team,
right? Yeah.
Right. I don't think they want to battle in the playoffs that way.
Right, I'm going to upset City. Shout out to all my fans out in Washington right here. Seattle. We're taking this one tomorrow. We're taking this one.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. Washington Eagles, who you got?
Both games are 8 o'clock games at the same time. Oh, are they? Or my time's wrong. I know they're both tomorrow, but
Yeah, it looks like it's both 7 p.m. is what I'm seeing.
that's why both in
But
the. Interesting.
that's weird that it's both at the same time. What are these games? Mhm.
Yeah, I think
Well,
the games are happening tomorrow, right?
yeah, they're happening tomorrow on the 21st.
I think the times are wrong though. I think they're both happening tomorrow though.
Yeah, I think the game with LA and Seahawks might be the Seahawks might be a little bit later because they are on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So maybe maybe it's gonna be a little bit later. Maybe the Washington and the Eagles game is probably gonna
Be earlier.
Yeah, earlier, possibly. But who do you got for them?
Bruh. I know I always pick against Washington lose, but man, I gotta keep that streak going, bro. I'm gonna go Philly on this one, bro. And Jalen Hurts and Philly been playing well. Last 2 games, bro, they're both fighting for the playoffs. They're both 6-7. So then there's not like one team. This is a tough game. It's kind of a toss-up. Yeah, like they've won the last game. They beat the Jets, but but still, like this is a must-win game for them to meet the playoffs. Like they gotta win this game, bro. Forget about Washington, how they're playing. Philly, Jalen Hurts, must-win game. I think he's on track to start tomorrow. I think he wasn't COVID protocols, but he's cleared for tomorrow. I think Jalen Hurts shows, like you said, like one of those games like you described with Justin Fields, where he shows flashes of great play and making plays outside the pocket with his legs, with his arms. Jalen Hurts shows us at home. Taking Philly, bro, all day.
I'm taking Philly too, though, because like you already know I'm not gonna go against Philly and my boy Jalen Hurts. I suspect Jalen Hurts to show, because this is a game where he's going to be under a little bit of a microscope now. They saw how well Gardner Minshew can play, and I feel like one mess up by Jalen Hurts is going to put his ass right on the bench. I don't want that to happen to my boy, and I know that he's a guy that perseveres. He welcomes pressure, and he rises above it. So Jalen Hurts is going to have a standout game, a statement game against Washington, and they are division rivals as well. So this is a must-win game on both sides, I know, but I feel like they're going to be a little bit more motivated in that case, in this case, just due to Jalen Hurts and knowing what he has at stake. So they're going to win this game. Shout out to Philly Nation. And yeah, that's all I really gotta say, man. They gonna take it, man. I can't see Washington winning. I mean, that's it, bro. So we on the same page here.
I mean, it is. I guess we both got to win our other 2 games, but this game we're on the same page,
Yes, sir. So do you want to wait till maybe till the next podcast where we'll make predictions for week 16?
Yeah, we'll do that on the next podcast, like Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, all right, bless.
All right, bless. So been great podcast, recapping yesterday's game as well as predicting the games tonight and tomorrow. So it was a great way. We always want to get you, always a great podcast the NFL. Anything happened in NBA? Kind of want to talk about?
I mean, there have been things that we haven't mentioned, like a Steph Curry breaking the 3-point record for the most threes, surpassing Reggie Miller and Ray Allen. So shout out, congrats to Steph. He's a great shooter, man. The best 3-point shooter in history, bro. Like, shout out to this man. Always said, this guy is different. Like, I remember I made a tweet like the other day, like Steph Curry's just different. Like, he's just been a different breed, bro. Can't stop that man, and he's gunning for MVP. Another topic of conversation, LA Lakers, man, they've always been a fun topic to talk about because you know how it's Lakers, right? It's LA. They've been up and down. I heard that there is talks. They just signed Isaiah Thomas. And there've been talks where they may think about trading Russ. I don't know if that's real or
Yeah, I
not.
don't understand those talks because it means like, bro, you're gonna blow up the experiment like what,
Because it's
30
early
games in?
still.
It's
Yeah,
early, like
it's
we're in the
early
first quarter
still.
of the season. Like,
It's
nah,
early days, bro.
you gotta ride this out the tires. So you need at least a full year of, you know, of having these players together with Russ and LeBron and AD. I know AD's hurt now, but you need a full season to evaluate Russ, Westbrook and how he played with the Lakers. So yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, if you guys trade him, he's gonna be like on his 15 in like 5 years. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but like, man, like I
Yeah,
don't think they should blow it up this quick.
I wouldn't say so too. I don't agree with that. Um, yeah, bro. I feel like Russ has showed, some bright spots on the Lakers too. He can show that he can be a contributing piece to the Lakers. Uh, and I feel like getting him a little bit more, like, yeah, just giving it a little bit more time, um, can only show more of an upside as, more, probably, just more positives in terms of keeping him. So yeah, it doesn't make sense to blow it up. And but I do like the Isaiah Thomas signing. I feel like that was a really good signing. Isaiah Thomas has fought to get back into the league. Shout out to that man. I'm really happy for him as well.
And I believe I got in the league, I think the day before when the G League dropped like 42 points.
Yeah,
And then everyone in NBA, all the ex-players, current players were like, this man needs to get in the league ASAP. The next
exactly.
morning he was signed with the Lakers.
Yeah.
So it just shows the power, like, yo, power
Nah,
of
he
social
was
media.
he
But
was
he was
he was
balling.
league ready. Exactly. He was
Mhm.
league ready. He knew, like, ain't nothing was stopping him from getting back still.
They guys that are like born scorers need them in the league. Like, you don't have these guys shouldn't be in the G League. They should be like in the league, showing their skills. Yeah, so that's,
Brooklyn Nets, another update. Apparently, they're having talks with Kyrie in terms of having him participate in certain games
yeah,
this
road games.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
part-time
road
games.
games, right? Part-time games, yeah.
I can't
So
believe
that's
that
another
because
update.
I was like thinking like, bro, they have I think they had. I was pretty mad the other day. They beat our Raptors. They only had like 8 players. It was actually like a heated game. Went to overtime. It was back and forth. We missed like a heave three to win the game. We lost. But yeah, the Brooklyn Nets, like they had like a lot of players that are injured or in COVID protocols. So I'm like, bruh,
Mhm.
gonna bring back Kyrie. There's no way.
They need him
Because they need
still.
him.
They need him back now.
So they're gonna bring him on part time on the road only. So I don't know how long that's gonna last, but yeah, he's gonna be playing road games.
Yes, sir. So that's going to be exciting, I guess, seeing him back on the floor. Um, we'll see how ready he is as well too, because I mean he's missed quite a bit of the season. I know, as an NBA player, you're supposed to be prepared for these types of things. Be prepared for your call at any time, but still, I mean, just not having those games, man, and just not being in the flow, within the season, it may impact him. So we'll see how that is.
Yeah, and the East stays the same. There's a true surprise team like Cleveland Cavaliers are a third seed team right now in the East. So they're a very
Jeez.
surprising team. They have a young core. I think even like their best player right now, I believe is Sexton. He's not even playing right now. He's hurt. So they just been playing well all season as a young core. You had Jared Allen.
Yeah, Jared, that was a good addition to that
Just
team right there.
playing well. Yeah, Darius
Mhm.
Garland, Jared Allen, Colin Sexton. Yeah, he's not playing right now. He's hurt. So imagine if they had him. But even had they had the young player like Evan Mobley, they drafted at USC.
Mm.
Marketing that they got from the Bulls during the trade. Ricky Rubio, Kevin Love. They just have like a young team. They don't have their full team, and they're number 3 in the East. So I don't think they're a threat to go far in the playoffs, but definitely like
Mm.
a team that's kind of surprising. And then obviously you have the
Yeah.
same team like the Bucks and whatnot. And so Chicago's number 2, Brooklyn's number 1. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on the NBA. We'll definitely talk about the NBA more once NFL season is done, and then we can fully focus on
Exactly.
NBA.
Yeah, we'll
But
fully
yeah,
dive into that. So there's more to come, viewers.
man, stay tuned for that.
Yes,
I
sir. You
appreciate
already know,
y'all.
brother.
Listen to us on a Monday, giving y'all the recaps. Giving you always this weekly gems. And yeah, man, like, subscribe. And again, it's your boy Denver.
Yes, sir. And it's your boy Josh again. It's a pleasure. Denver, you already know. Podcast with my brother. You know, I appreciate these. I enjoy these. And I appreciate all the viewers out there, you know, whoever is clicking, you know, listening, just, you know, tapping in. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. So you already know. Keep up the support.
All right. Easy.
Blessings. Peace and blessings.
416-905. All right.